Hey y'all, my name is Evan. Welcome to my channel. We're going to talk a lot today about overcoming your fears and taking big action towards the life that you actually want and dream of. Please like this video down below if you find something useful. Subscribe if you are new here. I come out with videos every Tuesday and Friday. Most of the time, I'm imperfect. This video is not coming out on a Friday, but that's all right. I hate to break it to you, but you're probably not successful because you're running away from your fear. You have to do something that says to yourself, I am brave. I am not gonna let my fear stop me anymore. I'm sure that so many of you wanna start a business or start a passion project, but you're so scared of what other people will think of you. And then guess what? You don't do it. You stay in this place of wanting to and dreaming about it, but never actually doing anything about it because you're scared. A lot of people don't even realize that they're scared. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about fear, overcoming that fear, and taking action where you're progressing towards your dreams, not running away from them. And I know this seems really scary, but there's a reason why you dream about the dream that you have, because you have a gift to give to the world. And the thing that you think about every night, that's the way that you're going to deliver it. So don't blame me. It's something that you have to do. But if we're going to get you there, we need you to overcome those fears. I know you might be thinking, Evan, I don't have any fears. I don't know what you're talking about. I just have not enough time, not enough money, too many other responsibilities. You know what those are actually called? Your excuses. And fear loves to use excuses. Loves them so much, in fact, it makes you believe that they're reality. And they're not. My favorite excuse used to be that I wasn't confident enough, that I was too sad, that I had too much anxiety, and that no one was ever gonna love me. I believe these things, and they hurt a lot. Until one day I was really sick and tired of the way that this made me feel. And I wanted to get familiar with it and understand, where were these thoughts coming from? Was I born with these thoughts, or can I reprogram them into something better and more productive? And I learned that you definitely can, which is what I'm going to teach you here today. And I can tell you with pink hair confidence that these steps really work. But you have to put in the work and you have to be committed, because someone out there is waiting to have the gift that you provide. Yes, you have amazing gifts to give to the world, and it's time to let them out. My amazing gift to the world, helping you find your amazing gift, teach you a new way to think, improve the way that your thoughts work. And today, that's all centered around fear. Okay, so what are the actual steps in doing this process? Well, first, I want you to get really familiar with what that passion project is that you really want to do. Whether that's start a new business, become a YouTuber, start a blog, create beautiful art, whatever it is, get really comfortable with it, because it's your mission. It's your life's mission to give back to the world. And this nudge that you have in your heart, that's the way that you're gonna do it. Not by some boring job that you hate or volunteering down somewhere that you're not even passionate about. It's about getting really familiar with what that light and fire is inside here and growing it into something massive. So what does that look like for you? What's that thing that your heart beats a little faster for? For me, it's about helping other people with their confidence, helping people know that they're not alone in their mental health struggles, and providing a better way to think about the world around us and how we exist in it. My mission is that I never want anyone to feel as alone as I used to feel when I was in the deep, dark place of depression. If I can help people feel supported and loved and like there's hope, then I feel like I will have fulfilled my mission to the world. And that's what gets me going. That's why I show up here and make these videos, even when I feel like laying in bed, eating chips, and doing absolutely nothing. Actually, that's what I did yesterday, and I let myself do that. But today, I said, I'm gonna do a video because I don't have to show up perfectly every single time, and I gotta get my message out in the world. More on that topic in another video. Okay, have you thought about your mission yet? What is it? Type it in the comments. I wanna hear all about it. I mean, it should be the thing that you're excited about. The thing that if you were doing it as your job, that you would jump out of bed in the morning to get it done. I mean, most days, as you heard my previous example. Because we all carry fear. I carry fear even though I've learned how to overcome it, but that's part of being human. And so that brings to the second part, getting to know your fear, being curious about what you're scared of, being gentle with yourself and overcoming it. What we're not doing here is we're not taking that fear and stuffing it in a box to never be looked at again. Because you know what? It's gonna come up, like it or not. So we can either have it come up by choice while we examine it and understand it, or it'll be in that box and it'll just explode all over us. That'll come out in the form of anger, sadness, or physical illness that doesn't seem to have an explanation. Emotions are real, and we cannot ignore them forever. You can try, but it's not gonna work. I ran from my fears and my emotions my whole life. Honestly, I didn't feel safe having them. I think it probably made my depression even worse, to where I finally hit rock bottom and had no choice but to open up that box and examine what was inside. Don't wait to that point. Do it now. You might be in a place where you're ignoring your fears too, and you don't really even know where to start. You have this project that you're passionate about and you want to do it, but it seems like that you just have a long list of reasons why you shouldn't. Well, let's get familiar. What's going on? What are your excuses? Your excuses are a really good place because they're probably coming from a place of fear, especially if there's a type of physiological response that comes when you start talking about the thing that you're passionate about, and then the excuse that accompanies it. Because that physiological response, like your heart racing, your stomach hurting, that could be the fear trying to show itself to you, but you don't know how to put it to words. Like, for example, showing up on camera is an essential part of me fulfilling my mission because A, I need to reach a massive amount of people, and how else do you do that besides video sharing on social media? And we're in a quarantine crisis right now. So but showing up and putting myself in front of a camera used to create this massive pit of anxiety and just scaredness in my stomach. One time I had to film a short sales conversation back in a training program I was part of. I choked completely. I was in a room full of people. I was having to record myself do this. I'm like remembering it now as I'm doing this, like seeing the little camera lens. And I would just stare into the camera lens as if it was like a scary eye looking at me. And I would just like literally, that's how it felt. I was so scared. So the funny thing about fear and humans is it can generate a physiological response even when you have a memory of something. So me having that memory right now, doing that in front of the camera and how scared I was, that's kind of coming up for me right now as I remember that. But I can kind of work through it and be like, okay, Evan, you're safe. Showing up is not harmful to you. And the reason why that fear comes up is because it's not a fear of the camera, it's a fear of failure. And I was afraid then of failing in front of all the peers who were watching me, who were better than me at sales and pitching and being on camera and whatever I had to do. I, in my heart, didn't think I was good enough to do this. And so when I came and showed up, fear of failure paralyzed me. I can look at that now. I mean, I haven't thought about that memory in so long, but looking at it now, I recognize what type of fears activate me the most. Fear of failure and fear of abandonment are my two. I have plenty, but those are kind of like the main childhood rooted fears. And now, whenever a fear like that comes up, like what I literally just experienced, I had a pit in my stomach as if I was standing there that day, I could work myself through it and recognize, okay, that's a fear of failure. I know now that I am safe if I do fail, if I am imperfect, if something doesn't work out, and that eases that response in my body and makes me feel better. And that's a much better feeling that I have now. It's more of like a peaceful, calm feeling than if I were to have been like, oh wait, like that scared me. Let me take that, put it in a box and shove it aside and continue on with this video. And that's the process of mastering the fear and overcoming it. Okay, so my camera overheated. Not really exactly sure where I was, but I'm gonna try and pick up where I left off. The other thing with getting curious about your fears that we want to understand is what your triggers are. So what triggers the fear inside of you? The reason why that is so important is because then we can identify when the fear is going to come up and when we're likely going to do one of our 4 fear responses, which is fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Typically in like a passion project business scenario, you're going to get more like the freeze type response, which is just not doing anything at all, not taking any action. Probably not going to fight your business on it, but you might fight someone asking you how far you are in your business. I don't really know. Understanding what your trigger is and then also what fear response will come up in return is good to then recognize so you know when it's time to take the brave action. Because brave action is uncomfortable. There are 2 types of uncomfortable action that you can take. One is brave and what you actually want to take in alignment with your passion project or business, but the other thing is just stupid. So the analogy that I like to use for this is a brave action is similar to when you go to the gym and work out a little bit harder. You get muscles that are sore, but you know that it's a good type of discomfort because it's good for your growth. The type of stupid action analogy is if you were to put a parka on and go for a run in the 100-degree weather. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Is it in alignment with your fitness goals? Sure. But it's stupid as hell because you're going to go do it and then you're probably going to pass out and die. So that's where we want to get familiar with our fears so that when we're taking the brave action, we know whether or not it's aligned and good for us and good for the business, or if it's just plain stupid and not good for us at all. And if we don't know our fears and we do the stuff into a box thing that I talked about earlier, then you might be more inclined to take stupid action because you were told, face your fears, be uncomfortable. Not always a good idea. Like for example, if you want to start showing up online and share your story with the world because there's something to be learned from your story, just like mine, but in your own flavor, then there's a couple different ways you can show up online. you can either show up via camera, you can show up by writing, you can show up just sharing one-on-one with others, and different types of interaction may be good for you and some may be harmful for you. Like for me, it's really good for me to show up on camera because I can kind of be myself and I don't have to really worry about what anyone on the other side is thinking, at least not yet. But when I'm in one-on-one conversations, sometimes those can be a little bit more difficult for me because I want to kind of mold and be who that person wants me to be, and I'm trying to overcome that, which is why I'm here doing video instead, to kind of become my own person. It might be the opposite for someone else, like someone who may have a really traumatic experience with video and maybe was ruthlessly ridiculed. Video may not be the best way to start because too much physiological fear would come up during the time that you want to be brave. And that's kind of like the park on 100-degree weather situation. And tying it back to triggers and why you want to know and get familiar with your triggers, that's a symptom that it's about to be time to do something brave. And you have to ask yourself, am I ready to take the brave action? What brave action do I need to take? And then if yes, and you know what to do, then do it. In that moment that you're able to recognize your trigger, but take the brave action anyway, that is a huge step in growth. It's like telling yourself, hey, I trust you. I'm there for you. I see your bravery and I'm gonna catch you if you fall. And that has such a huge impact on our confidence and the ability to do even more brave action next time. The idea here is that we're building up this snowball effect and doing one little brave thing at a time so that we can continue and do braver and braver things until we're pink hair and doing a YouTube channel. Overcoming your fear and the excuses that come with it are totally possible. Take gentle, small steps if you have to, but don't stop. People out there are dying to have your gifts. They are waiting for you to help them, to hear what you have to say, or to be part of their lives. There are so many fantastic things ahead of you if you just take a leap of faith, however small, but bravely in alignment with who you truly are and who you want to be. No more living someone else's life. It's time to live your own. And if you're ready to do this, comment down below and don't forget to give this video a like because I am hosting a workshop all about this topic. And I am so excited to do it because I want to work with people, actually coaching them through these fears, encouraging them to take the brave action, all with the support of someone who's done it before. I know it seems scary, but if you got to the end of this video and you're fired up, I think you are perfect for this workshop. The sign-up link is below. And if you're watching later on, well, past this workshop, I probably have more things available at evanlarson.com. You can also join my group coaching program called Wild Heart, the Inner Circle, or do private coaching in my Wild Heart program. I'm going to continue to tease out everything that I work on in my Wild Heart program via YouTube videos, so make sure to subscribe and tune in every Tuesday and Friday for the newest video on self-love, confidence, overcoming your fears, building a life of success. That is all in store for you. The last thing I'll leave you with is that I believe in you. I believe that you can overcome your fears and that there is the life of your dreams just waiting for you to have it. I believe that if I can have it, you can have it. You are worthy of it. And if you do nothing else, I want you to write down every day that you are worthy of the thing that you're passionate about. And when you're ready, come back here and I would love to work with you on making that a reality.